It's a case with many twists and turns, and now the plot has thickened in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. It's been postponed to Monday. That's following the revelation of a second docket. The docket says the people who were in the house when the soccer player was shot dead should be charged with murder and defeating the ends of justice. Slindelo Masikane has been in court all along, tracking the story for us. This morning she joins us outside the home of Meyiwa's then-girlfriend, Kelly Khumalo, in Vosloorus. Slindelo, good morning and thank you for joining us. The plot does in fact thicken. The second docket, many are saying now, has added another layer to the trial. Talk to me about this.
It certainly has. I mean, it's definitely put a halt in proceedings because we have now had to adjourn in order to allow Advocate Zandile Mshololo to be able to peruse through this docket. She had some questions for Sergeant Thabo Mosia in relation to his affidavit that he deposed in relation to this 375 docket, and she put it to the courts as well as to the state to say that it is quite shocking and shameful on behalf of the state in terms of the manner in which they are conducting this trial, that information seems to be coming, revelations rather seem to be coming forward as the trial is proceeding. We find ourselves, of course, outside the home of Kelly Khumalo's mother, which is where the murder took place, and behind me you can see there's been quite a few changes. I mean, there's a gate now, there's a wall as well that's been built up, but you can see the writing on the wall behind that says Spaza, telling you that we are at the correct home. But what now is being revealed in terms of the second docket is that we have two different scenarios in terms of what took place here. The one docket says that 5 men are responsible for the murder, that there were 2 intruders who entered the home, and the other docket says that those who were in the house should be charged with the murder because apparently, according to this docket, Kelly Khumalo mistakenly shot Senzo Meyiwa using a revolver, and that particular gun was brought in by Longwe Twala. So we have adjourned in terms of the trial itself. We resume on Monday in Fundo, but even then we don't expect the trial to really be proceeding. It's going to be some administrative issues that are going to be dealt with because Advocate Zandile Mshololo says she'll be writing to the DPPs of the North and South Gauteng High Courts to get more clarity on the second docket and why the NPA decided to pursue the 636 docket rather, as opposed to the 375 docket. The 636 docket is the one that points to her client, that is accused number 5, as being one of those who should be sentenced in terms of this murder. But she says that if there is another docket that we now know does exist, and that there are other suspects who were said to be charged with this particular murder, then why are they not before the courts?
And I suppose it's clarity that most South Africans want at this point, because we would love to know why charges were preferred against these ones and not those ones. But how is the family feeling with all these revelations now?
Well, you know, we spoke in particular with Senzo Meyiwa. We know, of course, for the Meyiwa family, they have been, looking for justice for years now. We're on the 8th year in terms of how old this particular matter is. And for Senzo Meyiwa in particular, he has been very vocal to say that he does not believe that the men who are on trial right now should be the ones in the dock. He has, on many occasions, verbalized that he does believe that the 375 docket contains the truth about what happened to his brother. Let's take a listen.
Akuyona surprise kuthina as a family. Kungijabulisa kakhulu ukuthi igcineni igcine livela le document. Ngoba all along nje umuntu ade enza ama interview besikade sikhuluma izinto ezilapha kule second docket okuyiyona vele ephethe iqiniso. Yeah. Siyalazi le docket lesibili, siyakwazi konke okukhona lapha edokotweni. Ukuthi nje ilona docket eliphethe iqiniso kunanofakazi abakhona kulela docket.
It's interesting, Slindelo, that Senzo Meyiwa's brother says they do know the contents of the docket, because I know in particular he was somebody that had expressed in the media that he was being intimidated. He's a police officer. It seemed he had, to a certain extent, had some sort of access to the docket. What has been the story around that and the intimidation, everything that's been happening insofar as he's concerned?
Well, like you've said, he, like many others who have been quite vocal about this secondary docket, the 375 docket, the Defence Counsel, Advocate Malisa Latefo, has as well on many occasions said that he's been receiving death threats as well. We know that the investigators, in particular with the 375 docket, are also in hiding at this point. And we know apparently in terms of submissions made by the state yesterday, that when they had requested the 375 docket from the investigators back in March, they had instead given it to Advocate Defo and not to the state. So it does bring into question as to what is happening and feeding, of course, the rumors around intimidation, as well as allegations of a cover-up that has taken place here. But the Meyiwa family, all they really want, Mfundo, is justice. They just want to know what happened, and they want the truth to come to light. Let's take a listen to Meyiwa's brother once again.
NPA ukuthi labo bantu NPA yazi ukuthi labantu akubona kodwa iyaqhubeka isile dokodla liqhubeke lenze angazi noma bayikhokhelile noma benzeni kodwa nje iyazi NPA yazi nokuthi labantu ababoshwe aba5 akubona abantu bokuqala ababoshwayo kunabanye eSouth Africa engabazi thina siyabazi abalandwa samoya umunye olandwe ejele kwathiwa akaye kwenza confession mefike umagistrate amxosha athi uzoqamba amanga la akuyena futhi lo khona nomunye naye and iNPA yazi yatshelwe NPA yona yakhipha isinqumo sokuthi captain bani angifuna ukumusho ngegama captain akukho singakwazi azi konke into ngalecala lo captain uhamba landa isiboshwe esithile wathi yosenza iconfession baxoshwa wathi ngizoqamba amanga NPA ivuma kanjani lekwenzisa abantu ama confession bexoshwa nalabo isavuma ukuthi bona uyabona NPA idlala ngathi nayo.
And then just in closing, Slee, where to from here?
Well, at this point, we await for court proceedings to resume on Monday, Mfundo. We know that at this point, Advocate Zandile Mshololo will be writing to the NPA to get clarity on the second docket and its implications. And then on Monday, when we resume, it's going to be more of an administrative session where we're going to find out exactly when the trial will be sitting once again. The judge is adamant that he wants a more lengthy sitting as opposed to just 2 weeks at a time. So that's obviously going to depend on the availability of counsel.
All right, Slindelo, thank you very much as always. That's our reporter Slindelo Masikane out in Vosloorus today, the then home of Senzo Meyiwa's girlfriend Kelly Khumalo. She's been tracking that story for us. Monday it should commence. To this now.